Hey everyone, welcome back to Smart Growth with Alicia. Today, we are going to tackle a huge idea, something that might just change how you look at learning forever. Why talent is a total myth. So, have you ever looked at a prodigy, a master musician or some world-class athlete, and just thought to yourself, wow, I could never do that? If that sounds familiar, then this video is absolutely for you. We're always told that greatness is the special gift you're born with, right? But what if that's not the whole story? Not even close. There are actually two big lies about learning that hold most of us back from even trying. The first is that myth of natural talent. The idea that some people are just born with it. And the second? It's that super intimidating 10,000-hour rule, which makes getting good at anything sound like you need to lock yourself away for a decade. So I spent the last week completely buried in books and research papers from the world's top performance scientists, and honestly, I found a pattern. A really clear system that explains exactly why some people seem to learn like 10 times faster than everyone else. So, what is it? Well, it's not magic and it's not genetics. It's a very specific system called deliberate practice. And today I'm going to teach you how to use this very system to learn any skill. I'm talking coding, playing the guitar, speaking a new language, you name it, in just 20 hours. All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll expose the biggest lie in learning. Then, we're going to say goodbye to that 10,000-hour rule for good. After that, we'll dig into the power of, painful practice. Then, I'll give you a step-by-step skill-building system, and we'll wrap it all up with your very own 20-hour challenge. Okay, let's dive into section 1, the biggest lie in learning. So that first big lie we talked about? Innate talent. It's so easy to look at legends like Jerry Rice or Mozart or even someone like Chris Rock and just chalk their success up to natural ability. But when you actually look at the research, it tells a totally different story. What they all had in common wasn't some magic gene. It was a fanatic devotion to practice, a very specific kind of practice. So, if it's all about practice, does that mean we're stuck with that dreaded 10,000-hour rule? The one that says you need a whole decade to master anything. Well, that brings us to the second big lie, because that rule, it's probably one of the most misunderstood ideas out there. See the whole 10,000-hour thing? It came from studies on elite, expert-level performers. We're talking Olympic athletes, concert violinists, chess grandmasters, people at the absolute tippy top of their incredibly competitive fields. And here's the crucial part everyone misses. It takes 10,000 hours to become one of the best in the world, not just to get good. And that right there is the key difference, isn't it? Most of us, we aren't trying to become the next Serena Williams. We just want to be able to hit the ball over the net and have a fun game. We want to speak enough Spanish to order food on vacation or maybe build a simple website for a side hustle. Our goal is just to be competent and capable, not, world domination. So how long does that take? Well, according to research from author Josh Kaufman, it takes just 20 hours. That's it. 20 hours of focused practice is all it takes to go from, and I'm quoting him here, grossly incompetent to reasonably good. Think about that. That's like 45 minutes a day for less than a month. That is so doable. Okay, so here's the catch, and it's a big one. The power of this 20 hours depends completely on how you practice. Just mindlessly strumming a guitar while you watch TV isn't going to cut it. You have to use a very special kind of practice, one that's tough, that's mentally demanding, and that pushes you right out of your comfort zone. Honestly, a lot of the time, it's going to feel frustrating, and that's the point. If it feels easy, you're not really learning. And this brings us to the absolute core of this whole idea, defined by the brilliant researcher Anders Ericsson. It's called deliberate practice. Now, this is not the same as just mindless repetition. Think about it. You can type on a keyboard for 20 years and never actually get any faster, right? Deliberate practice is different. It's a targeted activity designed specifically to improve your performance. It demands your full, undivided attention, and it's not always supposed to be fun. So what does this actually look like in real life? Well, it has 4 key ingredients. First, you need a super specific, well-defined goal. Not just, I want to get better at guitar. No, it's, I want to play a clean G major chord 10 times in a row without buzzing. See the difference? Second, it demands intense focus. That means no phone, no TV, just you and the task. Third, You need immediate feedback, a way to know right away if you're doing it right or wrong, so you can adjust. And finally, number 4, it has to push you just a little bit outside your current abilities. That feeling of struggle, that's your brain literally building new connections. That's where the growth happens. And that struggle, that's exactly where most people give up. They hit that wall and they blame it on not having the talent. But look at this quote from Erickson's research. He's talking about singing, but it applies to everything. The biggest obstacle is almost always the belief itself. He found 0 evidence that some people are just born unable to sing. The real hurdle was just believing they couldn't. Your mindset, it's literally everything. Okay, so we get the theory, right? Deliberate practice is key. But how do we actually do it? How do we turn this idea into a practical step-by-step system? Well, luckily for us, author and performance geek Tim Ferriss created a brilliant framework for exactly that. He calls it the DISS method, DISSS. First up is D for deconstruction. This is where you take a big, scary skill and break it down into its tiniest little Lego blocks. So learning Spanish becomes memorizing the 100 most common words. Instantly, it feels way less intimidating. Next is S for selection. This is all about the 80-20 rule. You find the 20% of those little blocks that will give you 80% of the results. It's about being effective, not just busy. The third step is S for sequencing. What's the best order to learn these pieces? You figure that out so you can build momentum. And the last S is for stakes. This one's huge. You have to create consequences to keep yourself on track. You could promise yourself a reward, or even better, a punishment if you quit, like having to donate money to a political party you can't stand. That'll keep you going. All right, let's bring this all home. We're going to take all these amazing ideas and put them together into a simple, actionable plan that you can start using like today. This is your 20-hour challenge. Okay, here it is, the 4-step skill accelerator. Step 1, deconstruct. Just like we talked about, break your chosen skill into small, manageable pieces. Step 2, learn just enough to self-correct. Go find 3 to 5 resources, a few books, a couple of YouTube tutorials, maybe an online course, just enough so you know what good looks like and you can spot your own mistakes. Don't fall into the trap of endless research. Step 3, remove all barriers. This is huge. When it's practice time, put your phone in another room. Turn off the TV, make it impossible to get distracted. And finally, step 4, practice for 20 hours. Commit to it. The entire secret is pushing through that initial frustration barrier where everything feels awkward and you just want to quit. Get past that and you're golden. 20 hours. That's the number. Remember, this isn't about becoming a world-class expert overnight. It's about putting in 20 hours of focused, smart effort to get over that hump, to push past the frustration, and to become surprisingly, amazingly good at something you've always wanted to do. So I have a question for you. What is one skill you have always wanted to learn, but you were just too scared or too intimidated to even start? Seriously, think about it. Now that you know the 20-hour secret, what could you do? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to see what you all come up with. Because at the end of the day, it's not about talent. It's not about dedicating your entire life to something. You don't need talent. You just need a strategy. Thanks so much for watching Smart Growth with Alicia. If this helped you, please do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. We'll see you then.